Unit 3, Section 5. We didn't finish last week, so we're going to finish these up today. I don't even remember how far you guys got. So HGSYL is your code to join Nearpod, and then have your notes up and ready to go. I'll give you about a minute or so to get everything ready.
Does anyone have lotion?
I have. Nope, that's too far. You're welcome. Hold on, let me exit out of this and I'll look.
Someone drew on my stuff.
Can't imagine who would draw on their own note packet. Alright, so it looks like we left off on the sequencing layers. Good morning, Star. Do a complete shutdown and restart it back up. That works 99% of the time. Hi? Oh, yeah, so we moved the desk because we have to move stuff in and out of the greenhouse all the time, like every day. So that's why your desks kind of get shifted. So it looks like we had finished, maybe? I don't remember. Let's see, who do we got? We got Akil, Alyssa. Oh my god, my vision is super blurry this morning.
What am I on there?
Underrated Ashley.
Still?
Apparently.
What?
Says you logged in.
Because I didn't get to choose my team.
It's because it's the same code that we used last time.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so while the last couple people are logging in, and I probably should pull it easier to see. I totally forgot to do that. Yep. Yes, there is. All right, so I'm going to pull the, kind of review some of the stuff that we did previously. Okay, so when we were looking at these layers, in this case, I gave you a legend to be able to tell what type of rock layers there were. So we had our bottom one as limestone, our middle one as sandstone, and our top one is shale. And as we are noticing, there are 3 different types of rock layers, but there's 4 lines. All right, so that means that we need to be able to know that there is one event that happened with these rocks that I need to account for. So if I give you 10 layers of sediment and I give you 13 lines, that means you're going to have 3 events. So kind of keep that in the back of your head. So for this first one, we were looking at, oops, I'm also going to pull up the note packet too. We're looking at the oldest being listed first, and then always listing the newest or the youngest at the bottom. So this first one in your notes should be limestone, sandstone, shale, erosion, or this could be erosion, it could be unconformity, disconformity, something along the lines that the sediment layers have been disrupted. All right. For this next one, we have our same 3 layers. And then we have this fault line right here, so representing a break in that crustal, that part of the crustal layer. So we would have limestone, then the sandstone got laid down, and then the shale got laid down. And then because that fault line goes through all three sediment layers, that means that is the most recent thing to happen. So a fault or earthquake, or I think that's what people put on there, would work for number 4. I think,
H.
yep, HGSYL. You're welcome. And then for this one, I think this might be where we left off. We have our same 3 sediment layers, our limestone, sandstone, shale, but what could possibly make them wavy looking? Any thoughts? Tsunami makes water waves, not taking our crust and waving it. What could possibly move the crust around? Yeah, like convergent or compression. This is called folding. It's like it's folding in up on itself, or it's like the earth that you're trying to crumple up paper. That's what I think of. You're folding it up. So this one would be number 1 is limestone, number 2 is sandstone, number 3 is shale. And then because all 3 layers are wavy, that means they were all folded. I'm trying to get to this in the notes too, so I can type it with you guys. Oh, there we go. I don't know. Maybe you should sign up for it. All right, so it'll look like that in your note packet. You can delete the stars, that's fine. It's just easier for me to not. All right, so that's where you should be in your notes. Move that out of the way. Okay. All right. I'm going to minimize this. We'll come back to it in a second. I know. Now we challenge. All right, so this is the next one. I'm going to give you some hints about it. The key. Oh, the answer key? No, you're not getting the answer key. All right. So you've been doing it with 3 layers of sediment. Now you're going to do it with 8. And I know there's 8 because you're going to use letters instead. You don't have to put like limestone, sandstone, shale, whatever, because there's no legend to tell us what layer is what. So it's just like B or C, layer G. Okay, I'm not worried about what type of rock it is. There's 8 letters symbolizing 8 layers of sediment. And we have 11 lines. So that means there's 3 events in there that you need to take care of. Now, when you do them, put the events, we're talking about sequencing. Sequencing is an order of events. So you're going to put those events in with the sediment layers, okay? If we were back on this one and only the bottom 2 layers were folded and this one was completely flat instead, it would be a limestone, sandstone, folding, and then the shale laid on top after the folding happened. So keep that in mind. You can move the events around in order to put them in the correct place. I don't expect you to get this right, but I want you to try and struggle your way through it, and then we'll go over it in about 3 to 4 minutes, okay? So sit there and think through your layer of your law of superposition, where the oldest is typically at the bottom, your intrusions, your unconformities. Think of that stuff all in your head and try to work through this. Give it a shot. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Where did you get that? I know. I'm just wondering when you did that. Are you done? Is it in your near pod? You can type it too. Yeah. It says oldest first. Does anyone need more time? Okay, I'll put up some more time. We went through the first three. So use those same concepts and try. I told you probably wouldn't get it right. That's okay, but I want you to struggle through it. Try and figure out what would happen. Work through time backwards.
Oh, that's statue, isn't it?
You can. Maybe. Maybe not. Ashley, fix your earpod. Oh. Never mind. That's what it shows.
Oh. I'm out in the street.
What did you do? Shoot your computer?
I don't feel too bad.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
No.
right. Wherever you are, submit it so I could see it. Yeah, until you submit it won't change.
Youngest to oldest to oldest.
Oldest to youngest.
You got it wrong.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy mistake to see though, is, oh, it's just backwards. That's okay. These are notes, this isn't a quiz. Hold on, before I... Oh, it won't let me delete today. Will it? No, yeah, it will. The laser is screwing me up, Ashley.
No.
Oh, Alyssa went bye-bye. Where'd she go? Alright, let me peek. Oh gosh, you guys are challenging my vision today. Holding, eroding. Okay. Okay.
Is that mine? No, it's not mine.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to go over this really quick. I'm going to do it from the notes because I can't write on Nearpod. So, all right. What do you think our oldest layer is? Good. It is F. All right. So it is F. Due to our law of superposition, layer F is going to be the oldest. Then what's our next layer? Good. You did newest to oldest? Yeah. That's usually an easy mistake for me to catch, but just so you know, like, because you're not the only one that did that, Jose, it will count everything wrong in like Canvas or anything like that. So keep that in the back of your head. All right. Number 3, what would be the next one? Yeah. G is this dark layer right above C.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Only because, so D would go here. What happened to those 4 layers? Fold. They're folding. Again, you can put like compression or anything along those lines. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just had my stupid little passes, and now I don't know what I did with them. 2 days in a row, I've lost them. Right. There you go. All right, so we had some sort of folding or compression, something along those lines that's squeezing those rock layers together and making that wavy look to them, okay? And then what happens after they get folded? Good, it's a nonconformity or disconformity. I'm just gonna write erosion because that's so much easier to spell. So you have this dark squiggly line, and like we learned last week, that means there's some sort of unconformity. So unconformity is kind of that umbrella term that something happened here. In this case, our little hills or mountains got decapitated, the tops got taken off, right? And that is technically called a disconformity. Um, like any of those are totally acceptable. I just usually put erosion because I know erosion means that they got, you know, taken away. There's some missing sediment layers there, and it's easier to spell. What happened after the unconformity or the erosion?
E.
E. N.
A.
And then?
H.
What would the final thing be? Good. And we'd end on erosion. So we don't see how these layers are nice and flat. This one is not, and so we're just going to call that it ended with some erosion. So I'll leave that up there for a second so you can make sure you have this in your notes. And it's correct. Again, I wasn't looking for 100% correct. I was looking for you guys to struggle a little bit. That's okay. But do you see where your mistake was?
Yeah.
There we go. You can actually learn more by making the mistake and fixing it than you can just by me telling you which ones are right. Mm-hmm. All right, everyone good on this one? They've got this copied down? All right. We are going to move on to the next one. Gets a little bit harder. Okay, I'm going to put up the big one and a timer. Let's see. Notice for this one, you still have 8 letters, so 8 sediment layers, but you have 12 lines. So that means you're going to have to include how many events? 4. Good. There's 8 sediment layers, 4 events. That'll give us 12 total. Yep. So go oldest to youngest. Sorry. Yep. Yeah. All right. And I'll give you a little bit longer on this one.
I got it. Wait, what?
On what? That is not my timer, by the way. That's what you hear. Huh? Did you take my sticky notes, by the way? Did you take them? Hey, good morning. Where did Because they were right here this morning. Yeah. Good Lord, Ashley. If anyone it is, it's Miss Bond.
I saw them with my arm. There they are.
That's how tiny my pile has gotten. Mm-hmm. Was it Delphi, I think? There you go.
I'll be back, people.
About a minute left to submit your answers on Nearpod. Did you leave something in there?
No, I'm gonna leave here so I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I know Miss Barnes is there, but I don't know what class period. Oh my gosh, you don't need my car keys.
And the brothers.
Okay.
Because
I almost bought one like that.
apparently we didn't have enough.
I bought one too. Because I think that one's hot. I'm gonna tell you something that I forgot. There we go. I think so. I think Disney and I shut it yesterday, maybe. Oh no, he came back in, so it's probably open. Alright. Let's see how you guys did. Diverged? Is that a word? Can you? I don't even know. Whoever did this one, this is fine, except for the fact that you need to remember to include the events. So there are 4 events that happened. And it looks like you might have switched these 2 up. Okay. So 5th period. So 1st period of the day. All right, and where's my notes? There we go. All right, our oldest layer is what letter? Good. The next one. This is where it gets tricky. We got F up there already. The next one is actually going to be the folding, compression, convergent, something like that. And I'll tell you why in a second. But we have these 3 layers down here that you can see are actually curved, correct? And then we have E, which usually people jump straight to letter E as the 4th one. But if you notice, E doesn't have that curve to it. So what probably happened is you got these mountains and valleys, and then E came in and settled in the low spots. So that folding happened before letter E did. What could possibly happen after letter E? I'll give you a hint, it's not a layer. What happens, what's just right above layer E? No, A is all the way at the top, but it's not a layer. Perfect, you were right, trust yourself. Or unconformity. Right? So that erosion came through and like decapitated our little mountains that we had. Right up here, you can see that dark squiggly line, and down here. Then what came next? This one is a layer. Yep, see? And then what? So you don't have to worry about the type of boundary, it's just a fault line. In this case, it is probably a divergent, but we don't have to worry about the type, divergent, convergent, transform. We just know that that fault cuts through all of the layers. So based off our law of intrusions, that means those rocks had to be there in order for that fault line to break them. Okay. If the erosion was last and the fault was second to last, you would probably see not such an abrupt line right here. You would probably see this part of it eroded away because cliffs aren't very stable. It would have crumbled. So there's that. I'll leave that up there for a few seconds so you can make sure you've got the right answer copied down in your notes. Did Disney tell you he brought the green screen? Yeah. I know.
We shall do that today.
I'd say take a few to practice around with because we don't have the shirts yet. And then once we get the shirts, it'll be super easy for you guys to work on.
So they're like, what's wrong with the green screen?
All right, ready for the next one?
Yep.
It's gonna get a little bit tougher.
Not really though.
Not really though. All right. Don't worry, everyone has made mistakes on this one. Again, I don't care that you make mistakes, I care that you're trying and trying to figure your way through it. Give it your best shot. That always makes me want to start singing. Exactly. I'll put the big one up there. I'm gonna put a timer on my side. Yeah, I see mine too. Hi. Probably not. No one ever said that to me. Oh, thank you. There you go, sir. Ah, there you go. Nice. Good one. You might have to steal that. What's that? Layer F? Oh, oldest to newest. Yep, always. Oldest to newest. Now I got it stuck in your head, huh? Yeah. So stop playing with my thermometer. Because it measures surface temperature, not internal temperature. Yeah. Where you have pores, where you sweat, where your skin cools off, so your body internally stays at 98.6. But not that anyone in this industry will understand that.
So you don't have... No! You don't have a regular thermometer?
No, why would I?
You should get one. No! I'm bored. I'm gonna copy the answers that I got for the last one. And I'll copy all of them.
Copy. What if they're different answers?
They are.
Why are you copying?
There's some girls in the bathroom. They tell you people weird. No, I'm weird. I'm weird. They're in the same stall as well.
Because I use them a lot, especially with like posters and stuff. It could be Colonel Sanders' boss. Do you watch the show Community?
No.
I had a good joke for that. That a Colonel Sanders spaceship.
Oh, she was 5 seconds. I thought she was second.
I heard.
I bet.
All right. Submit what you got. Let's see where you are. That is interesting. All right. This one right here, let's see how you guys did. Oh, I like that. Whoever did this one, I don't know. I don't have names. I'm not going to expose you. You can't have folding of layers if you don't have the layers to begin with. So watch out for putting any event first. At least you owned it. We have a couple not here people. Again, whoever's doing this one, you can name layers, but you're missing all of your events. So if you do something like this on Canvas, it's because you got the first event wrong. It's going to mark everyone wrong after that. Okay, so keep that in mind. You need to include those events. Okay, that's a good way to go through that. That's all right. When I look through these ones, I just try and look for common errors or misconceptions to do right away. All right, so there's one that, I lost my start bar. Okay, there's one that I left kind of intentionally to screw you guys up, but we'll get there when we get there. All right, number 1, what is our oldest layer? D is correct. What is our next oldest layer? Beautiful. And then? Very nice. Good morning, Marcus. All right, so this is where relative dating is not perfect, okay? So it can be pretty ambiguous sometimes, and it's not 100% go-to, no problems kind of thing. You could actually have 2 different answers for number 4 and 5. These can be swapped. So it could be layer H, or you could have the folding in, which I think I saw somebody do each of these. Good morning, Miss Brown. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, probably not. It's just for me to go get that shot, but they put you in for the whole day, I guess, in case something goes wrong. No, I promise I won't. One is, let's see, my 7th period I think is no more than 10. My 8th period I think has between 10 and 15. Advisory, if I'm not back for that, there's you gotta be careful leaning back and heel. I think there's 10 in there too. Okay. 10:15. Thanks. Alright, I'll see you. Bye. Yeah, Miss Brown is my substitute today. Alright, sorry about that. I'll be leaving at 10:15. Or 10 probably.
Why?
Because.
Can I come with you?
Hey, Akil, can I get my charger back? My computer's dying.
Akil.
Thank you. All right. So folding or layer H and H or layer fold or the layers being folded are kind of what we could do. Those are interchangeable, so both are acceptable. What came after layer H or the folding? What came after this? Nope. Good. Jeremiah got it. The erosion. And then what came next? Then came B. And nope.
igneous.
That is layer F.
Oh.
And I'll discuss that next. So normally we would say BAF, but that is not the case, and I'll tell you why. It goes BAG. Okay. Because this is a layer F is an igneous intrusion. So we have our dike leading up to a sill. If you remember your plutons and all of that stuff that we did last week. Yes. That's fine. Oh, there it is. Yep, so we have what would be a dike. So if you ignore this pluton right there.
You're saying dike.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. All right, and then we'd have our sill, or it would even lack a lith. Either one of those would have been fine, but you can just call it an intrusion. It's fine. Let me pull my notes back. Oh, that was my notes. I'm dumb. All right. So then we'd have our layer F, which is that igneous intrusion. And so up here in your picture, it says the contact metamorphism. Remember, metamorphic rock, it changes due to heat or pressure. So when that whole bunch of magma came up through the rock, it burnt all the surrounding rock layers. And that's what those dots represent. So if this would have been a straight line right here, like everything else, that means it would have come and dried before layer G was put down. But because layer G is there and it's getting burnt by that igneous intrusion, F came after layer G. Has to be there in order for it to burn it. Then what came after layer F? Oh, we have G, then F. What's last? All right, so take a couple minutes, fix that. Everyone screws up the G and the F, but that's okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the notes, I'm on page, I can't even read that. Hold on. I'm on page 18 in the notes. All right. You want to take a picture of it so you have it, Marcus? Because I'm about to move on. I want you to have the answers. Hi? Yeah. All right, so we are going to move on. These have it as draw it, but I'm just going to talk through it. So I'm actually just going to end it. Stop it. All right. You guys have done enough drawing. So looking at this image at the right, tell me what layer's the oldest. The blue one here down at the bottom. And then which one would be the youngest or the newest layer? The reddish one, yeah, the top one. And then what kind of weird things or events do you see happening in this picture? There's many. Next to the black line, this one. This would be your igneous rock, metamorphic. What else? The black line, that could be a dike of lava or magma since it's still under the surface. There's, yeah, a lot of erosion. There's two other things I see in here. Well, three other things I see in here. We already got that. Oh, the one on the right. This one. The fault line. What else? What about this layer? What do you notice? Yeah, it got folded.
What?
And then what about this one? Very Garden of the Gods style. You just put your laptop in the trash.
Yes, you did.
It is apple.
It's an apple.
Yeah, it belongs there.
Apple? You eat apples, do not go to the doctor.
What's this one called? It starts with a T or an A. Tilt or angular unconformity. Ah, I know, that was from last week.
It's almost like it's at an angle.
Weird, huh? All right. This one, which features are older? So give me some things. So layers I and J or the dike. So here's your dike. And then letters I or J. Which one is older? Good. So layers I and J are older than the dike that cuts through them. That's your cross-cutting relationships, okay? Layer G, which is right here, or the dike, the big black line. Which one is older? Say louder.
G.
There you go. Say it with confidence. Letter G is older. Again, that's cross-cutting. Layer I or J? These two up here. I is here, J is here. Say it louder.
Ah.
There we go. Layer I. See, just be confident.
Law of superposition.
Yep, law of superposition. Layer C through H, so it's these ones right down here, or layer I. Which one of those is older? Good. Yep, layers C through H. Again, that's superposition. They are below layer I. Layer A or B. So we have layer A, layer B. A is older. Law of superposition. Here's where we get a little more tricky. Batholith K or layer A? Which one's older? The layer A. Remember, batholith is that igneous intrusion. So it intrudes through layer A and through layer B. So in order for it to intrude, and you can see the inclusions in here, it's kind of small. That tells us layer A is older. Now what about batholith K and layer C? Which one of those is older? All right. We've got a vote for batholith. What else? We need somebody else. Batholith or layer C? You can't vote twice.
Well, if you get another answer,
And that just proves that you could be 100% right because you answered both. All right, in this case, it's batholith K. Do you see how it does not cut through layer C? And there's our little erosion line right there. So that means it was A, B, then the batholith K came through and intruded on them. They got eroded, and then layer C got put down. All right, fault M, which is this guy right here with the arrows, or layer D, which is this one. Which one's older? Good. The answer is D. You can't have a fault line through a layer if that layer doesn't exist. And lastly, fault M or layer I. Which one's older? M. Very nice. We have the fault, something happened, there was some erosion, and then layer I got put down on top of everything. Okay? All right, so that is going to be Yeah, we'll do correlation probably later this week or when we come back. So that's the end of your notes for today. There is a homework assignment up there. I'll give you some time throughout this week to work on it. We'll probably do a little bit more of notes. Yeah, on Thursday when I see you again, I had to think because Wednesday, you guys all know, is asynchronous day, right?
Yes.
You guys do not come to the school building. There's no live classes. Teachers will be here, but you will not. All right. Unfortunately, I can't do that. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
I think I should have gone to that. I need to fix this.
Uh,
It is not this iron I do not want to go to hell, miss.
I'm sorry.
Miss, if you hate me, you will not. If you hate me, you will let me stay.